Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel, God's Divine Purpose. Hi, for those that are tuning in for the first time, my name is Lakeisha Thompson. And for those that are subscribers, welcome back again. Remember, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share button so we can stay in tune in everything that God has for us in this season. So today's topic we're going to talk about is narcissists and the new supply or the new girlfriend or boyfriend who they're dating. So I will be speaking from a woman perspective, but it can be applied to both male and female, but I would just be speaking from a woman perspective. When it comes to a toxic person, we must remember when it comes to a toxic person and the person in which they are dating, we are on the outside looking in. They're just like somebody's taking a picture. We looking at the picture, but not what's really going on in reality is what's going on behind closed doors. So when we're looking at the narcissist and the new supply, from our perspective, it would seem that if they're living the ideal world or things are going good or, they are getting what we wish we had or, the things or the thoughts that the enemy plant in our mind. But we must remember who we're talking about. A narcissist or a toxic person, they live in a false reality. They don't live in reality. They live in a false world. So they're putting up a false image. That's what we first have to realize, that everything looks good is not always good. We must remember we're talking about a toxic person, an evil person. So we have to realize that we was once the new supply because they had somebody before us as well. So we was brainwashed. They couldn't come into our relationship telling me this, that, and the third about the toxic person because I didn't want to hear it at that time. So we have to realize that the new supply, thinking that they are new, they're not new. They're new to the narcissist in that relationship, but the narcissists always have other supplies lined up behind them. So they're thinking that they're the new supply, or they're thinking that they done got one up over on you, but not knowing that eventually the tables will turn for them as well. So when we're talking about the new supply, we always thinking, thoughts will come out of mind from the enemy saying that, I put in all this work and they're probably getting the life that I deserved, or, what do they have more than what I had to offer? No. It's nothing the matter with you. The problem is that you're trying to be a people pleaser. You're trying to please something that do not know their own worth. You cannot pour your all into somebody until it's detrimental to you. So you got to remember, a toxic person live in chaos. They live in confusion. So they always want you to battle for them. Battling for them is another source of supply, and it's called triangulating, because the narcissist is at the top, you is on this side, and the new supply is on that side. So you always will be back and forth for the narcissist. You'll always be back and forth competing for the narcissist, and that's what gives them supply. That's more supply for them. Looking at it from a biblical perspective, I'm reminded of the Apostle Paul. His name was Saul before he was converted on the road to Damascus. See, God had to blind Saul with this light in order for him to come into reality of what was really going on. See, at that time, that biblical time, Saul was a persecutor of the Christians. He was running around killing Christians. And God, on the road to Damascus, that's what he was on a mission to do. But God had to shine this bright light on Saul to let Saul know, Saul, why are you persecuting me? And Saul was like, who are you? Who am I? And he was like, he came into reality that it was God, the Christians, who he's persecuting. So I said all that to say that on the new supply, the veils are on their eyes. They're brainwashed, just like we were, until we came out of this relationship, until God revealed to us what we was really dealing with. The scales had to come off our eyes, just like as it had to do Saul. The scales had to come off our eyes in order for us to see what was really in front of us. So don't waste your time trying to tell the new supply, calling them up, or trying to inbox them, or hit them up on Facebook, or trying to reach out to them, because they don't want to hear nothing you have to say. Because just like we was in that first part of our relationship, brainwashed, love bomb, nobody can tell us nothing about the toxic person. That's exactly how they are. They have to learn from themselves. Life is the best teacher. So don't waste your time trying to warn them about the toxic person, because the narcissist done already told them she gonna come over here, and or they gonna come over here and try to tell you this or try to tell you that. They done already been doing this for a while. So if you come in to do that, that just gonna make them seem like the good person, because they done already told them that, oh, she gonna come over here and do this, or she gonna come over here and do that. So don't waste your time trying to inform the new supply on what's going on. They will come into realization when their head is on the chopping blocks. So only thing we have to do is listen to a toxic person. Listen to a person and follow their trail. Why all of your ex-relationships or all of your relationships in the past will always ended up badly. Or this person did you wrong, and this person after this happened to you, and this happened to you. You have a trail of hurting and abusing people. So that's what we have to look at when we're dealing with people and it comes to relationship. Ain't none of your relationship end up good, and you don't have nothing good to say about nobody, that should send a red flag to us first of all. That's why the word of God tells us we walk by faith and not by sight, because our eyes will deceive us from what's really going on. See, I was deceived. You probably was deceived as well, because things didn't look like what was really going on behind closed doors. So when reality really set in, it was a shocker, it was a hurter, and it probably penetrated you to your soul, because you couldn't believe the things that were going on behind your back. So that's why we're called to walk by faith and not by sight, because people will deceive you. Toxic people will deceive you. Deception is the game. The enemy is on a mission to kill, steal, and destroy. All of that is deceive, manipulation, hurt, pain, all in one. And who wants to experience that? But for a narcissist, that's his only supply for them. So when we're dealing with toxic people and the new supply, I hate to be like, just don't warn them, because they're not going to listen to what you have to say, because they think that you are against their relationship. They think that you don't want to see them doing good. They think that you are the bitter person, not knowing that you're the better person and you're trying to help them. So if a time when they done been took through the ringer so many times and they finally come to reality, they might want to sit down and talk or chat with you, not knowing what the narcissist is going to put in their mind. They might want to come in reality, have like a one-on-one conversation with you, and you can begin to tell them what they done been through without them even opening their mouth, because y'all have been through the same experience or similar experience when dealing with this topic. That's why we are called to walk by faith and not by sight, because this world will deceive you. We are in this world, but we're not of this world. People will deceive you on every level, not just only in a relationship. It could be in a friendship. It could be on a job. It could be your coworker. It could be your own family. It could be your friends. It could be your children. The enemy don't care who he uses. He just wants somebody that's available to be used. So the new supply is just somebody new that the narcissist can use. That's why it's called new supply, because they are new to the narcissist, and they're going to supply them with what they need. That's energy, admiration, money, cars, houses, a place to stay, because a narcissist is always going to drag you down. They're not going to lift you up. If it is, it's only temporarily before they devalue you and make you feel less than. So whatever the narcissist is giving you is only temporarily. They want to climb the ladder fast, so that's why they move on so quickly to somebody that they think have more than you. If it's a nicer house, if it's nicer looks, or if it's more money. See, they love to climb the ladder fast, but anybody know that if you climb something too fast, the harder you coming down. You have to take your time to build something and have a solid foundation. The narcissists don't want that. That's why everything is so quick with them. It's so quick with them, and it don't give you time to face what's really going on. That's why you're always in a whirlwind. You're always confused, because confusion moves quickly. Confusion have you moving around quickly. You don't have time to think, and that is not of God. God don't dwell in confusion. Confusion is one of the tactics of the enemy. The new supply should be wondering, like, why she's not calling me, or why they're not reaching out to me, why they're not knocking on my door. things that normally women and men will do after a breakup, that should send a red flag. If you're not chasing that person, something's got to be wrong. Because if somebody was so good to me and he was or she was doing all these good things, don't you want that person back into your life? But we don't see that. We see it as the opposite way. Oh, it must have been good, or they must have been good if this person calling my phone and, stalking me and trying to warn me and want this person back. It must have been good. But no, you have to do reverse psychology on them. No, don't run behind them. That should send a red flag that if you're not chasing behind, who wants to chase behind something that's toxic? See, the narcissist has beat your self-esteem down so low with all the devaluation that they have done to you. They make you think that your life is impossible without, you can't live without them. And that is a lie straight from the pits of hell. You will live a better life once they're out of your life. Because only thing they only brought was drama, chaos, confusion, pain, hurt. You need to recover from that kind of abuse. See, but they done made you feel like you cannot live or exist without them. The only person we cannot live and exist without, and that is God. That is God. God will begin to heal you in every area that the narcissist thought that they have torn down if we allow him to do that. So don't chase behind a narcissist. That's what he wants you to do. That's what a toxic person wants you to do, is chase behind them so you can seem like the crazy person. So I advise you not to worry about the new supplies. That's easily said than done, because our human nature wants us to know what's going on in their reality, how they're making it, how they're coming along. But that's why the Bible tells us to renew our minds. When we see what we are dealing with, we educate ourselves and we begin to renew our minds on what we're dealing with, so we'll learn how to fight the enemy at his own game. So don't worry about the new supply. That won't be new for long. They're just like you get a new shirt or a new pair of shoes. Oh, yes, I'm going to wear it for a couple of times, but after a while, you're going to want something else. That's how it is with a narcissist. They only see you as supply. Oh, I can get some new jewelry, but after a while, I want another watch. I want another ring. I want another shirt. Nothing would be satisfying to them. So they are new. They're new for probably a month or two. It depends on how fast they go through the stages with a narcissist. So eventually they'll be looking around and wondering, you was the better one. You was the smarter one. You got out, but they're still in. So I advise you not to envy the new supply. Just pray for them. Pray that God's open their eyes, open their minds, open their understandings so they can be able to see what the enemy is doing to them as well. It's not the person, it's the enemy using the person. So you pray for the person so they can come out of agreement with the narcissist as well. So when it comes to the narcissist and the new supply, it's only a matter of time before they get done what they done to you. It's a matter of time before the tables turn. So I just pray that you don't be so hard. Don't stalk their page. Don't try to reach out to them. Don't try to educate them on it. Only person that can open their eyes to understand it is God, because they're blinded just like we was blinded. So don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I pray that this message encourages somebody that feel like they are less than, or they feel like they can't make it because the narcissist or the toxic person has moved on to somebody else, with somebody else. It's only a matter of time before, if you was good to them and they did not value you or did not see your self-worth, imagine they're not going to see that in nobody else. If I'm good and I did all this and I did all that to you and you can't still see my worth, they'll never see the worth in nobody else. So don't be so hard on yourself. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button so we can stay in tune in everything that God has for us. Remember, I love you. Most of all, God loves you. Until next time, be blessed.